$3.41 a gallon, the highest gas price since 2024, up 14% in a single week, according to AAA. Fill up your tank today, Monday, before this week's storm system shuts down roads, kills power across the central U.S., and takes gas station pumps offline, because what is coming Tuesday is not a drill. Here is the number that should stop you cold. 4,000 joules per kilogram of atmospheric instability is being recorded over the Midwest right now, and meteorologists say that is almost record-breaking for early March. A number you typically see in May at the height of tornado season. This is a 3-day severe weather event Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with tornadoes, golf ball to baseball-sized hail, and winds over 70 miles per hour, followed by an Arctic blast that flips temperatures from near 80 degrees down to the low 40s by the weekend. Stay with this forecast to the 6-minute mark, where you get the full hour-by-hour breakdown of Tuesday's enhanced risk corridor, the exact windows when supercells fire, when the cap breaks, and when the overnight squall line becomes the most dangerous phase of this entire event. Monday, March 9th right now. Today is not a day off from severe weather. A slight risk of severe weather is already active from central Arkansas stretching into central Alabama. And a marginal risk zone extends from Huntsville up through Memphis and back into northeast Texas. The biggest threat today is large hail. And this is not small stuff. The highlighted zone shows a legitimate risk of hailstones approaching 2 inches in diameter, the size of a golf ball, capable of totaling a car and punching through vinyl siding in under a minute. The Monday timeline starts quiet around 10 a.m., mostly isolated activity, but by lunchtime, widespread thunderstorms develop around Little Rock south and east toward Memphis. And that is your peak risk window noon to 6 p.m. across central and southern Arkansas, northern Mississippi, and western Tennessee. Arkansas, Little Rock, Hot Springs, Pine Bluff, El Dorado, Jonesboro. You are in the heart of today's threat. Damaging winds up to 65 miles per hour, quarter to $half sized hail, and a low-end tornado risk are all on the table between noon and early evening. Keep weather alerts loud and stay radar aware all afternoon. Memphis, Tennessee. Sitting at 61 to 75 degrees today, that warmth is exactly what feeds these storms. Warm Gulf moisture flowing north, colliding with the incoming cold and dry air from the northwest, creates the explosive instability that drives severe weather this early in the season. Memphis watches for strong to severe thunderstorms through the afternoon. Nashville at 57 to 73 degrees faces flash flood risk today. Not just tomorrow, the combination of heavy rain falling on ground already saturated from last week's outbreak means that low-lying areas, small creeks, and urban drainage systems are at elevated flood risk the moment the rain starts. Know your evacuation route now, before it rains. Louisville, Kentucky at 54 to 70 degrees severe storm risk tonight. March 9th is being closely monitored where warm Gulf air and cold dry air are colliding along the Ohio Valley boundary. Louisville, Paducah, and Lexington at 52 to 68 degrees are all in the radar watch zone for tonight and into Tuesday. Alabama, Huntsville. Birmingham at 61 to 77 degrees with dense morning fog this morning is included in today's marginal risk zone. The tornado probability today is listed at 2%. And here is something that should make you take that seriously. Michigan had a 2% tornado risk on the map last Friday. And 3 large tornadoes touched down with 4 fatalities. 2% is not probably fine. 2% is a real threat. Georgia, Atlanta at 59 to 75 degrees. Jacksonville, Florida at 61 to 77 degrees, both dealing with dense fog this morning that is dropping visibility below a quarter mile on highways across southeast Alabama, southwest Georgia, and the Florida Panhandle. The fog lifts by midday, but by evening, rain and storms move in ahead of Tuesday's main system. If you are on I-75, I-16, or I-10 this morning, slow down. Quick check-in, drop your city and state in the comments right now. Are you seeing storms today? Are you in the Monday threat, Tuesday's enhanced risk, or both? One comment. Your city, your situation. That real-time info from the community helps shape where tomorrow morning's forecast spends the most time. Your city could be the one that gets the dedicated deep dive segment. Now let us talk about why this week is so unusual. What makes this severe weather setup rare for early March is the sheer size and warmth of the moisture field. Dew points across the Ohio Valley and southern plains are running into the mid to upper 60s. That is a deeply saturated, tropical-like atmosphere in the first 2 weeks of March. This is genuinely not something we see very often this early in the season. Here's the driver behind everything happening this week, and it has a name. A powerful cutoff low-pressure system has been parked off the coast of Baja California for days, just sitting there, spinning, pulling warm, moist Gulf air north like a fire hose aimed straight at the spine of this country. Meteorologists call it the Baja Low. It has been running the show all week, and by Monday night, an upper-level trough from the northwest crashes into it and kicks it loose, when a coiled spring releases all at once. The energy has to go somewhere. On Tuesday, it goes straight into the central United States. That extreme moisture is going to produce very low cloud bases on Tuesday, which matters specifically for tornadoes. Low cloud bases mean the distance between a rotating thunderstorm and the ground is shorter. Tornado formation is faster. Warning times are compressed. And any tornado that does touch down can strengthen more quickly than typical. This is the detail most people miss when they hear tornado risk. The Storm Prediction Center already has a Level 3 enhanced risk orange on the map in place for northwestern Indiana, near Chicago, back into central Illinois, and northeastern Missouri, issued 2 days in advance. The SPC does not put down an enhanced risk this early, unless the atmospheric signal is unusually strong, unusually clear, and the models are in rare agreement. This is one of those times. Beyond the enhanced zone, a very large slight risk stretches from southern Michigan all the way back to the Texas-Mexico border, a corridor covering parts of a dozen states and 36 million people. Forecasters would not be surprised to see an upgrade to enhanced risk in parts of Texas and Oklahoma before Tuesday arrives. The current designations are the floor, not the ceiling. And here is the tornado angle that makes this Tuesday specifically alarming. There is already a large hatched area on the SPC map that hatching is the designation used when EF2 or stronger tornadoes are a real possibility. The hatched corridor runs from Kansas City back toward St. Louis and into areas like Fort Wayne, Indiana. EF2 winds start at 111 miles per hour. They destroy well-constructed homes. The hatch is a warning, not a guarantee, but it is telling you the atmosphere has the ingredients for something violent. Comment prompt number 2, and this one shapes tomorrow morning's city-by-city breakdown. Drop one word in the comments: tornado, hail, or flood. What is your biggest concern going into Tuesday? Your one-word answer tells the forecast where to zoom in for the next update. And it tells people in your area what their neighbors are most worried about. One word. Drop it now. 6-minute mark. Tuesday breakdown. Phase by phase. Hour by hour. Phase 1. Tuesday morning, the storm system develops on the eastern slopes of the Rockies and pushes northeast across the Midwest. Tuesday morning is going to be sunny and very quiet, with little cloud cover. That sunshine matters. It heats the surface, builds instability, loads the atmospheric gun. The calm Tuesday morning is not reassuring. It is compression before the cap breaks. Phase 2. Tuesday midday. Noon to 3 p.m. storms begin firing in 2 separate corridors simultaneously, down in Texas and Oklahoma. Discrete supercells could develop by as early as 2 to 3 p.m. Dallas at 64 to 79 degrees. Fort Worth at 64 to 77 degrees. Arlington and Plano all flagged for extreme weather risk Tuesday afternoon. Oklahoma City at 54 to 72 degrees and Tulsa at 55 to 70 degrees are both in red alert tornado watch territory. This is round 2 for Oklahoma after last week, and this setup may be stronger. Phase 3, Tuesday afternoon, 3 p.m. to sunset. The warm frontal boundary across the Midwest is where the real danger is concentrated. Wichita at 45 to 64 degrees watches for supercells and severe thunderstorms with significant hail. Tuesday afternoon, Kansas City at 46 to 61 degrees faces strong to severe storms and hail. St. Louis at 50 to 66 degrees, heavy rain. Severe thunderstorms, powerful lightning Tuesday afternoon and evening. This Kansas City to St. Louis to Springfield corridor is right in the heart of the warm sector. The hail picture for Tuesday deserves its own focus. Baseball plus-sized hail is a genuine possibility across the Midwest. On Tuesday, meteorologists are calling it rare and unusual for this time of year. Hailstones at that size weigh half a pound and travel at over 100 miles per hour. They will total a car in under a minute, shatter windows, and punch holes through roofing. If you have a vehicle parked outside anywhere in Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, or Indiana on Tuesday, move it under cover before 2 p.m. after that. You may not get another chance. Phase 4, Tuesday evening, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., the enhanced risk zone activates. Chicago at 39 to 52 degrees, and the south suburbs are close enough to the bullseye that residents in the southern metro and northern Indiana need to treat this like a real tornado event. Indianapolis at 41 to 57 degrees Tuesday evening is your peak window. Fort Wayne at 39 to 55 degrees faces severe weather through Tuesday night. The entire Indiana corridor is looking at a multi-hour severe weather event starting at sunset and running well past midnight. Around sunset Tuesday is when supercells start popping near Indiana and west of St. Louis individual. Discrete rotating storms that are the most tornado-capable type of thunderstorm. By 8 p.m., multiple supercells are developing from northwest Indiana back into Missouri. Any supercell that develops Tuesday evening will be significant. These are not your ordinary garden variety severe thunderstorms. These are the kind of storms that produce long-track tornadoes. Phase 5. Tuesday night, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., this is the overnight window. And this is when the risk becomes most dangerous. Storms begin clustering and organizing into a squall line that sweeps east. Embedded tornadoes and heavy rain. 70 to 80 mile per hour. Straight line winds possible. And the whole thing moving through communities where people are asleep after daylight saving time. Louisville, Nashville at 57 to 73 degrees. Memphis, all in the overnight squall line path. An overnight severe weather event is not the strongest kind of event. It is the most dangerous kind, every time. Let us talk about the warm frontal boundary in plain English, because this specific feature is what separates Tuesday from a normal severe weather day. A warm front is draped across the Midwest on Tuesday in a very similar position to the one that produced the 3 large tornadoes in Michigan just days ago, the Union City EF3, the Three Rivers EF2, the tornado over the frozen lake. Storms that fire along a warm frontal boundary get a double dose of wind shear. That is why the enhanced risk sits where it sits. The boundary is the target. Now, Wednesday, March 11th, because this story absolutely does not end Tuesday night, as the low pressure system deepens near the Great Lakes. The cold front sweeps the Ohio Valley, the Southeast, and the Gulf Coast on Wednesday. This is actually potentially more significant than last Saturday's squall line event. Multiple tornadoes are possible on Wednesday, especially across Mississippi, Alabama, and into the Deep South, with peak tornado risk between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. Wednesday evening. Wednesday, tornado corridor, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, Tennessee, a large line of thunderstorms develops across Arkansas, Texas, and Louisiana by early to mid-afternoon, with small supercells trying to fire out in front of it across Mississippi and Alabama. Forecasters think there's a potential for a strong tornado or two on Wednesday, specifically in that out front zone. If you are in Jackson, Mississippi, or Birmingham, Alabama, Wednesday afternoon and evening is your watch window, separate from Tuesday. Wednesday city list. Cincinnati at 46 to 63 degrees rain, increasing and severe threat. Wednesday. Columbus at 43 to 59 degrees rain, building through Wednesday. Pittsburgh at 45 to 61 degrees, clouds increasing today. Storm threat arriving Wednesday. Cleveland at 36 to 48 degrees, gloomy today. But the major threat arrives Wednesday afternoon. The full Ohio Valley corridor from Cleveland down to Nashville faces a back-to-back Tuesday night and Wednesday double event within 24 hours of each other. Wednesday, Deep South Corridor, Nashville. Tennessee, severe weather risk both tonight and again Wednesday. Baton Rouge at 66 to 81 degrees high humidity. Severe risk. Wednesday morning, New Orleans area. Wednesday morning squall line brings damaging winds and embedded tornado threat. Jackson, Mississippi. Wednesday afternoon and evening severe risk includes tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds through the evening hours. Y'all in the Gulf states are dealing with multiple rounds. This week, stay with updated forecasts every single day, not just once. Before the forecast moves into the pattern flip, one thing that needs to be said right now, today. Families in Union City, Michigan are sorting through debris from Friday night's EF3. Union City High School is still running as a relief hub meals, supply drops, volunteers, helping people who lost their homes 72 hours ago. Those same families are being told another significant outbreak is coming Tuesday. That wait is real. If you know someone in the path of this week's storms, a neighbor, an elderly parent on your street, someone who may not be watching weather, send them one text today. One text. All right, here is what nobody in the national weather conversation is leading with strongly enough. After Thursday's cold front sweeps the East Coast, the atmospheric pattern undergoes a complete reversal. Both the European model and the American GFS are in agreement, and model agreement this far out is significant. The same cities that are running 20 to 40 degrees above normal right now will be 10 to 20 degrees below normal by the week of March 15th. We are talking about a 40 to 50 degree temperature crash in under a week. And behind that temperature crash comes the snow threat that nobody watching this from the South or Midwest has fully processed yet. For Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit, Grand Rapids, there is a potential winter storm setup around the weekend of March 14th and 15th. Then, a series of clipper systems rolls through the northern tier with additional snow chances. For Albany, Buffalo, Boston, Portland, Concord. New Hampshire winter is not done with you. Multiple rounds of snow are coming over the next 10 to 14 days. There is even a potential nor'easter signal showing up in the models around March 17th to 19th. It is beyond reliable forecast range. So treat it cautiously, but the GFS has been consistently showing that clipper system wanting to become something bigger as it tracks off the mid-Atlantic coast. Boston at 43 to 55 degrees today with cold rain and gusty coastal winds is just the opening act of a significantly colder second half of March for all of New England. Here is the straight talk about what this week means for you practically. Fill up your gas tank today, Monday, while stations in your area still have pumps running and lines are short. When a major storm system knocks out power across the central U.S. the way Tuesday could, gas stations go dark. Generators run on gasoline. Emergency equipment runs on gasoline. At $3.41 a gallon today, the highest since 2024, up 14% in 7 days per AAA. That is still the better deal compared to hunting for an open station Wednesday morning after a widespread power outage event. Here is your complete prep checklist for the next 72 hours. Step 1 right now. Today, open your phone settings and manually verify that emergency alerts are turned on. Volume is maxed, and Do Not Disturb is either off or set to allow emergency alerts through. Do not assume it is already set up. Actually check it. A phone on silent at 1 a.m. Tuesday night when a tornado warning drops for your county is not a minor inconvenience. It is a life safety failure. Step 2. Before sunset today, identify your shelter spot. Lowest floor of your home, interior room, 0 windows, a bathroom, a central hallway, the closet under the stairs. Step 3. Before you sleep tonight, walk every single person in your household to that spot physically. Not just point at it, stand in it together. Step 4. Monday evening charge every device. Phone, tablet, backup battery pack, weather radio, flashlight, all of it. Before storms arrive, not after the power goes out. Step 5. This is the one most people skip. Text one person in Tuesday's corridor right now. Something like, "Hey, big storm Tuesday. Get your weather alerts turned on loud and know where your shelter is." 15 seconds of your time. It could genuinely save someone who is not watching weather forecasts. Step 6. Monday evening, check the updated SPC outlook. The enhanced risk zone may expand. The tornado hatching may grow. And risk levels for your specific city could shift overnight as the models sharpen. Mid-video repeat, because the things that save lives deserve to be said twice. Number 1, Tuesday's most dangerous phase is overnight, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. The squall line is moving east while people are asleep. Get phone alerts set to loud before you go to sleep Tuesday night. Number 2, the enhanced risk zone is north-central Illinois, northeastern Missouri, and southeastern Iowa, just south of Chicago if you are in or near that corridor. Be in a safe structure by 3 p.m. Tuesday afternoon, not scrambling at 10 p.m. Now let us go city by city across the rest of the country. Northeast New York at 54 to 64 degrees today. Partly cloudy and actually pleasant. Philadelphia at 50 to 63 degrees, mostly cloudy and dry. Washington, D.C. at 52 to 66 degrees. Nice day today, enjoy it. Baltimore at 50 to 64 degrees with thin clouds. Newark and Jersey City at 52 to 64 degrees. The Mid-Atlantic and Northeast are largely clear of Monday and Tuesday's severe weather, but come back into the picture Wednesday and Thursday as the system exits east. Carolinas and Virginia Raleigh at 54 to 73 degrees today. Warm and sunny. Charlotte at 52 to 72 degrees. Gorgeous Monday, take full advantage of it. Greensboro at 52 to 72 degrees. Durham at 52 to 73. Winston-Salem at 50 to 72, all beautiful today. Virginia Beach at 55 to 70. Norfolk at 55 to 70. Chesapeake at 55 to 70, all pleasant. Richmond at 52 to 70 degrees with sunshine. The Carolinas get 2 events this week, storms possibly tonight, and then again Thursday as the trailing cold front arrives on the East Coast. Texas, complete update because Texas has 3 separate weather stories happening simultaneously this week. Dallas at 64 to 79 degrees and Fort Worth at 64 to 77 degrees, extreme weather risk and tornado watch territory. Tuesday afternoon from 2 to 3 p.m. onward. Oklahoma City at 54 to 72 degrees and Tulsa at 55 to 70 degrees, red alert. Tornado and large hail threat Tuesday afternoon into evening. Wichita at 45 to 64 degrees, supercells with significant hail Tuesday afternoon. These are the cities that are first in line Tuesday. Midwest and Great Lakes update Chicago at 39 to 52 degrees today. Light rain overnight tonight. Then the Tuesday severe weather threat. Indianapolis at 41 to 57 degrees. Rain arriving Tuesday afternoon into evening. Fort Wayne at 39 to 55 degrees. Light rain today. Toledo, Ohio at 39 to 54 degrees. Cloudy. Detroit at 36 to 50 degrees. Cold rain Monday into Tuesday. Milwaukee at 37 to 48 degrees. Gloomy and gusty off the lake. Madison, Wisconsin at 34 to 46 degrees with wintry mix potential. All of these cities are either in or just north of Tuesday's enhanced risk zone. Every single one of them needs to be weather ready by Tuesday afternoon. Here is what to watch for in the next 24 hours of model updates as they come in Monday evening. First, does the enhanced risk zone expand southward into Texas and Oklahoma? That upgrade would significantly elevate the threat level for Dallas-Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, and Tulsa. Second, does the warm frontal boundary settle north or south of Chicago? That 50-mile difference determines whether 9 million south suburb residents are in the direct bullseye or just at the edge. Third, does the overnight squall line maintain tornado-producing intensity as it enters the Ohio Valley after midnight? The answers to all 3 of those questions will sharpen dramatically by Monday evening's model run, and they will be in tomorrow morning's video. There is also one additional element in Tuesday's setup that forecasters are watching in real time, whether the discrete supercells in Texas and Oklahoma in the afternoon remain separate from the main storm line long enough to maximize the tornado window before merging into a broader squall. Whether that happens or not changes the overnight risk picture for the entire Ohio Valley. Here is the pattern context that makes this week historically significant. This severe weather setup with 4,000 joules per kilogram of instability. Dew points in the mid to upper 60s. And a warm frontal boundary draped across the Midwest is the kind of atmospheric configuration we usually associate with the peak of May tornado season. Not the first 2 weeks of March. This is genuinely rare. The SPC is calling it a rare severe weather outbreak for this time of year. That is not hype. That is what the data says. The pattern after Thursday deserves one more pass in plain English because it will catch a lot of people off guard. Wednesday night into Thursday, the cold front sweeps the East Coast. Friday, temperatures start dropping noticeably. By Saturday and Sunday, March 14th and 15th, the Arctic air is fully in place across the central and eastern U.S. Then a major clipper system rolls through the Midwest and Great Lakes around the 15th. Snow possible Thursday through Saturday in Chicago, Detroit, and Cleveland. Another system follows around the 17th with nor'easter potential for the Northeast. Final interaction before the wrap, and this actually shapes the prep content in tomorrow's video. Drop your city and one number in the comments how many people are in your household, just like Kansas City 4 or Indianapolis. Just me. That info helps the forecast frame tomorrow's safety planning the right way. A single adult has different prep needs than a household with young kids, elderly family members, or someone with mobility limitations. Your comment directly changes what gets covered tomorrow morning. The lesson that has to carry forward from last week. 8 people died in this country in storms this week, 4 of them in Michigan under a slight risk. The second lowest tier on the SPC scale. Tuesday's peak zone is an enhanced risk, 2 full levels higher. 36 million people are under at least a slight risk. The SPC scale is not television graphics. It is a warning about what the atmosphere is capable of doing to real towns and real families. Any city in Tuesday's corridor could be the one that ends up in next week's recap. Any of them. That is the full picture. Gas at $3.41 a gallon, up 14% this week, fill up today. Monday's threat active now from Arkansas to Alabama. Tuesday is the main event enhanced risk south of Chicago. 36 million in the corridor. Supercells 2 p.m. Squall line overnight. Peak window 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. Wednesday the threat shifts east. Deep south and Ohio Valley. Thursday, the East Coast. Then temperatures crash 40 to 50 degrees. The Arctic pattern locks in. And the Great Lakes and Northeast watch for snow and a possible nor'easter by mid-March. Tuesday morning's video posts before 7 a.m. Central, the warm frontal boundary position will be locked by then. And that is the answer that tells you exactly how bad Tuesday gets for your city. Stay weather aware. Make the plan. Look out for the people around you.